Akandamandalakaram Vyaptanyena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasme Shri Gurave Namaha Ajnanati Mirandasya Yananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasme Shri Gurave Namaha Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasme Shri Gurave Namaha Stavaram Jangamam Vyaptam Yat Kinchit Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasme Shri Gurave Namaha Ajivyapi Yat Sarvam Trilokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sarvashuddhi Shiroratna Virajita Padambuja Vedantam Bhuja Suryoya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Chaitanya Shashvata Shanto Vyomatito Niranjana Bindunada Kalatita Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Jnana Shakti Samaruda Tattvamala Vibhushita Bhukti Mukti Pradatasha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Aneka Janma Samprapta Dharma Bandha Vidayine Atma Jnana Pradhanena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shoshanam Bhava Sindosha Jnapanam Sara Sampada Guru Padodakam Samyak Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Na Guru Radhikam Tattvam Na Guru Radhikam Tapa Tattva Jnana Param Nasi Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Manata Shri Jagannatha Madguru Shri Jagadguru Mamatma Sarva Bhutatma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Guru Radhira Nadisha Guru Paramadevatam Guru Parataram Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tameva Mata Chapita Tameva Tameva Bandhusha Sakha Tameva Tameva Vidyadravinam Tameva Tameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tameva Mata Chapita Tameva Tameva Bandhusha Sakha Tameva Tameva Vidyadravinam Tameva Tameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Gurudev, 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 Sri Vishwananda. 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 Narayana, Sri Vishwananda. Premavatar Sri Vishwananda.
Narayana Sri Vishwananda, 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 Premavatar Sri Vishwananda.
Narayana Narayana Sri Vishwananda, Narayana Narayana 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 Sri Vishwananda.
Narayana Sri Vishwananda, Premavatar 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 Sri Vishwananda.
Gurudev 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 Sri Vishwananda. Gurudev 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 Sri Vishwananda.
Gurudev 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 Sri Vishwananda. Gurudev 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 Sri Vishwananda.
Gurudev 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 Sri Vishwananda. Gurudev 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 Sri Vishwananda.
Gurudev 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 Sri Vishwananda. Gurudev 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 Sri Vishwananda.
Narayana Sri Vishwananda, Premavatar 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 Sri Vishwananda.
Oh Narayana Narayana Sri Vishwananda, Narayana Narayana Sri Vishwananda.
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 Gurudev Sri Vishwananda.
Gurudev Sri Vishwananda.
Gurudev Sri Vishwananda.
Gurudev Sri Vishwananda.
Oh Gurudev Sri Vishwananda.
Gurudev Sri Vishwananda.
Oh Gurudev 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 Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. Gurudev, Gurudev, Sri Vishwananda, 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 Gurudev. Oh Gurudev, Gurudev, Sri Vishwananda, Gurudev. Oh Gurudev, Gurudev, Sri Vishwananda, Gurudev. Gurudev, Gurudev, Sri Vishwananda, Gurudev. Gurudev, 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 Sri Vishwananda. Gurudev, 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 Sri Vishwananda. Om Avatar Shishai Namah, Om Vishamai Namah, Om Devakari Samujatai Namah, Om Sukshmatanave Namah, Om Chinmayai Namah, Om Guru Murtaye Namah, Om Sundarai Namah, Om Sulochanai Namah, Om Sumukai Namah, Om Charuhasai Namah, Om Keshavai Namah, Om Padmabhujai Namah, Om Mandagamanai Namah, Om Sharumbharadharine Namah, Om Ramaya Namah, Om Mandirasthapakai Namah, Om Shri Bhutabhrteshwarnath Namah, Om Gayatri Yajvane Namah, Om Arpanasvikarakai Namah, Om Vishnu Pujakai Namah, Om Namo Narayana Iti Mantropasakai Namah, Om Swaramayai Namah, Om Madhurakantai Namah, Om Krishna Sankirtana Lulupai Namah, Om Stotra Priyai Namah, Om Mitabhashine Namah, Om Vagmine Namah, Om Chitrakala Visharadai Namah, Om Ratadharai Namah, Om Sadave Namah, Om Jagatpanthai Namah, Om Sarvalokahitai Namah, Om Bhakta Priyai Namah, Om Surdai Namah, Om Anukulai Namah, Om Neyai Namah, Om Sudarshanai Namah, Om Bhaktavatsalaya Namah, Om Premamurtaye Namah, Om Suvekshanaya Namah, Om Pritivardhanaya Namah, Om Swasidayakaya Namah, Om Tarakaya Namah, Om Anugrahaya Namah, Om Vardhanaya Namah, Om Ashitaya Namah, Om Arthaya Namah, Om Siddhipradaya Namah, Om Janardhanaya Namah, Om Manoharaya Namah, Om Mahashaya Namah, Om Siddheshwaraya Namah, Om Bhasmabhushitaya Namah, Om Atmalingaya Namah, Om Ligachana Prasakaya Namah, Om Siddhi Sadanaya Namah, Om Madhavaya Namah, Om Karupasakaya Namah, Om Sukshmaya Namah, Om Vishokaya Namah, Om Satvikaya Namah, Om Samadarshine Namah, Om Dakshaya Namah, Om Achintyaya Namah, Om Nirankaraya Namah, Om Nirmohaya Namah, Om Avyagraya Namah, Om Jitakrodaya Namah, Om Vinayashilaya Namah, Om Savashaya Namah, Om Kushalaya Namah, Om Shamaya Namah, Om Satyadharmaya Namah, Om Nirvikalpaya Namah, Om Viraktaya Namah, Om Atindraya Namah, Om Satyasandhaya Namah, Om Pavitraya Namah, Om Madhura Swabhavaya Namah, Om Suranandaya Namah, Om Nandanaya Namah, Om Prasanatmane Namah, Om Bhaktanidaye Namah, Om Sakshaye Namah, Om Samatmaye Namah, Om Sadayogine Namah, Om Haraye Namah, Om Sutapaya Namah, Om Samyaya Namah, Om Guyaya Namah, Om Vimuktatmaya Namah, Om Gabhiraya Namah, Om Guptaya Namah, Om Atmaramaya Namah, Om Srinivasaya Namah, Om Devaya Namah, Om Yuthidaraya Namah, Om Danyaya Namaha, Om Gurave Namaha, Om Duratikramaya Namaha, Om Gahanaya Namaha, Om Bhagavate Namaha, Om Harisharana Margadashakaya Namaha, Om Kutasya Jagattakaya Namaha, Om Abhiprayaya Namaha, Om Sarvamata Samatyaya Namaha, Om Shamaikata Bhavardakaya Namaha, Om Premavatara Sri Vishwananda Swami Namaha. Ato Deva Avantu no Yato Vishnu Vichakrame Pridhiya Sapta Dhamami Idam Vishnu Vichakrame Treda Nidade Padam Samudhamasya Pagum Sure Trini Pada Vichakrame Vishnu Gopa Adavyaha Ato Dharmani Dharane Vishnu Karmani Pashyata Yato Vritani Paspase Indrasya Yujasaka Tad Vishnu Paramam Padagum Sada Pashyanti Suraya Divi Vachakshviratatam Tad Vipraso Vipanyavo Jagruvagum Sasamindate Vishnoya Paramam Padam. Premavataraaya Vidmahe Sadgurudevaya Dhimai Tanno Vishwananda Prachodayat. Om Premavataraaya Vidmahe Sadgurudevaya Dhimai Tanno Vishwananda Prachodayat. Om Premavataraaya Vidmahe Sadgurudevaya Dhimai Tanno Vishwananda Prachodayat. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakuti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Yo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Yo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Yo Yo Na Prachodayat. Krishna Vishnu Madhusudana Ketabhare Narayana Achyuta Trivikrama Chakrapane Nityadrisarjadhara Sridhara Vasudeva Gopala Krishna Haraye Tava Suprabhata Shri Rukmini Shabhavanasha Hare Murare Radhesha Gopesha Surupa Brahmadi Bandhya Shri Dvarakashraya Vaikunta Pathe Bhuvane Kamurte Gopala Deva Haraye Tava Suprabhata Nina Krite Kamata Rupa Varaha Murte त्रिविक्रमाय गुहने गुरु राम राम श्री राम कृष्ण यदुनन्दन कल्कि रूप गोपाल कृष्ण हरये तव सुप्रभातम् गोविन्द माधव मुकुन्द परात्परेश दामोदरं च दरनन्द कदारिशूरि गोप गोपीजन संवृत दीनबन्धो गोपीजन प्रियारे तव सुप्रभातम् क्षीराब्धिसाय भुजगाधिपताल्पसाय सद्भक्तहित सदनसाय रमाङ्गसाय श्री गोपवाममृदुतल्पसुखादिशाय गोपवल्लभाय तव सुप्रभातम् श्रीकश्यपत्रिसुखनारद गौतमादि ब्रह्मर्षि सङ्गमनि सङ्गम भारतेषु तिष्ठन्ति देव तव दर्शन भाग्यहेतो गोपाल शेखर हरे तव सुप्रभातम् मन्दारजादि तुलसी दलमालिकाद्यै माल्यानि अञ्जलिपुते समुदाहरन्ति तिष्ठन्ति त्वत्पवतदारतले मुनीन्द्रा राधा मनोहराये तव सुप्रभातम् वेदत्रयं पतति गोतमकानभूया गायन्ति सद्गुणगणो वरदा सवर्गा संकीर्तयन्ति तव नाम कदा विशेषा श्रीनारदादिर्षया तव सुप्रभातम् गोवर्धनोद्धरण गोपकिशोर गोपा गोपीजनामृत सुवेश भवादिपोता त्रैलोक्यमोहन सुमङ्गल दिव्य देहा श्रीरुक्मिणीश भरदा तव सुप्रभातम् श्रीवत्सचीन शरणागत पारिजाता भक्तार्तिभञ्जन कृपाकर दीनबन्धो धीत्यन्त गायति जनाप्रिय दिव्यरूपा श्रीनन्द गोपतनया तव सुप्रभातम् पद्मक्ष पद्ममुख पद्मधरा प्रमेया पद्मालयस्त्रित पद्मनिवास शौरी पद्मो भवति सुरसेवित पाद पद्मा पद्मादिनाथ हरये तव सुप्रभातम् वृन्दातले विहरणाय महेन्द्रवन्द्या कन्दर्पदर्पहरतीन्य सुदेशरूपा चन्द्राननाय शिरचन्दनलिग्नदेहा गोविन्द यादव हरे तव सुप्रभातम् श्रीनन्दनन्दन यशोदकुमार धीरा मायङ्गधीनदविशोन सुपुष्पहारा नीलम्बुदा सुशरीर रमा विहारा गोपाल देव हरये तव सुप्रभातम् श्रीवर्षितं भवति सत्यसुगन्धि भाद्रा श्रीमित्रविन्द्रदिवसा प्रभुपुत्रिकायै तिष्ठन्ति दिव्य भवमेतव सेवनता गोपीमना प्रियारे तव सुप्रभातम् श्रीकृष्ण अच्युतानन्त मुकुन्द शौरी राधा मनोहर चन्दन चक्रपाणे नामानि दिव्यमुनयोर्ननिशां वदन्ति रामे मुहूर्त समये तव सुप्रभातम् श्रीकृष्ण सुप्रभातं ये पतन्ति आनिशम् भूरिकृता महापापा श्रीकृष्णानुग्रहहेतुकम् Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraham Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Chintamani Prakare Satma Sukalpa Vriksha Laksha Vriteshu Surabhira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Venum Pavantamaravinda Dalaya Taksham Bharavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpa Gotika Maniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chandra Kala Satvana Malya Vamshi Ratnan Gadam Pranaya Keli Kala Vilasam Shamam Tribangala-litam Niyata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasya Sakalendriya Viddimanti Pashanti Panti Kalayanti Shiram Jaganti Ananda Shinmaya Sadujvala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaitam Achyutamanadi Manantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayuvanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhakto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Pantastu Koti Satavansara Sampragamyo Vayo Natapi Manaso Muni Pungavanam Sobyasti Yatra Padasimya Vichitya Talve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ekopya Sora Chayitum Jagadanda Kotim Yachakti Rasti Jagadanda Chaya Yadanta Andantarasta Paramanu Chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yad Bhava Bhavita Diyo Manujastateva Samprapya Rupa Mahima Sanayana Purshaha Sutteyameva Nigama Pratitestu Vanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Resa Pratibhavitabhis Tabhirya Eva Nijarupataya Kalabhi Goloka Eva Nivasatya Khilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Hiradeshu Vilokayanti Yashama Sundarama Chintya Guna Swarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ramadi Murti Shukalani Yamena Tishta Nana Vatara Makarot Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Paramapumanyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagatanda Koti Koti Svashesha Vasudadi Vibhuti Vinam Tat Brahmanishkalamanantam Ashesha Bhutam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Maya Yasya Jagadanda Shatani Shuddhe Te Gunya Tat Vishaya Veda Vitayamana Sattvavalambhi Parasattva Vishuddha Sattvam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Rasatmataya Manashu Vyapraninam Pratipalam Smaratam Upedya Lila Kitena Bhuvanani Jayati Chastram Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Golokanamni Jadhamni Tale Chatasya Devi Maesha Haridama Suteshu Teshu Tete Prabhavani Chaya Vihitasayena Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Shrishti Shriti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha Chaye Vayasya Bhuvanani Vivanti Durga Vichani Rupamapi Yasya Chacheshta Chesa Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Chiram Yatadhati Vikara Vishecha Yoga Sanjayate Naitata Pratigasti Hito Yashambhutam Abhitata Samupeti Karya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Vipachireva Hita Shastarama Vipedya Vipayate Krivita Hetu Samana Dharma Yaskatriyeva Isha Vishnu Kaya Vivanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yakaranarnava Jale Pajati Smayoga Nidramananta Jagadanda Saroma Kupa Adhara Shakti Mavalambya Param Svamurtim Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yaseika Nishvasita Kala Matavalamya Jivanti Doma Vidaja Jagadandanataha Vishnur Mahansaya Yasya Kala Vishesho Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Asvamya Tashma Sakaleshu Nijeshu Teja Sviyam Kiyat Prakatayatya Pitatpatra Brahmaya Isya Jagadanda Vidhana Karta Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yatpada Pallava Yugam Vinidaya Kumbha Vande Pranama Samaye Sanagadi Rajaha Vignam Vidantu Mamalasya Jagatrayasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Agni Mahika Ganamambu Marudishasya Talasta Tatma Manasiti Jagatrayani Yasmat Bhavanti Vibhavanti Vishanti Yamcha Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yachakshuresha Samita Sakala Gahanam Raja Samasta Suramurti Rashesha Teja Yasyadnaya Pramat Samruta Kala Chakro Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Dharmottapa Panicaya Shrutayastapamsi Brahmadikita Pataka Vadayascha Jiva Yatatta Matra Vibhava Prakata Prabhava Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasvinda Gopa Matavendra Mahosva Karma Vandana Rupa Palapacha Manatanodi Karmani Nidati Kintu Cha Bhakti Bhajam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yam Krodha Kama Sahaja Pranayadi Piti Vatsalya Moha Muru Gaurava Sevya Bhavai Sanchintya Tasya Sarishita Mamapurete Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि।
हिरण्यवर्णां हरिणीं सुवर्णरजतस्रजां चन्द्रां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावहा तान् महावः जातवेदो लक्ष्मीम् अनपगामिनीः यस्यां हिरण्यं विन्देयं गामश्वान् पुरुषानहम् अश्वपूर्वां रथमद्याम् अस्तिनादप्रबोधिनीं श्रियं देवीमुपह्वये श्रीर्मा देवी जुषताम् कांसोऽस्मितां हिरण्यप्राकारमर्द्रां ज्वलन्तीं तृप्तां तर्पयन्तीं पद्मे स्थितां पद्मवर्णां तां योपह्वये श्रियम् चन्द्रां प्रभासां यशसा ज्वलन्तीं श्रियं लोके देवशुश्रामुदारां तां पद्मिनीमीं शरणमहं प्रपद्ये अलक्ष्मीर्मे नश्यतां त्वां वृणे आदित्यवर्णे तपसोऽधिजातो वनस्पतिस्तव वृक्षोतविल्वः तस्य फलानि तपसा नुदन्तु मायन्तरायश्च वाय अलक्ष्मीः उपेतु मां देव सखा कीर्तिश्च मनिना सह प्रादुर्भूतोऽस्मि राष्ट्रेऽस्मिन् कीर्तिमृद्धिं ददातु मे श्रुत्पिपासां मलां येषाम् अलक्ष्मीं नाश्रयाम्यहम् अभूतिमसमृद्धिं च सर्वं निर्नुद मे गृहात् गन्धद्वारां दुरादर्शं नित्यपुष्टं करिष्यिणीम् ईश्वरीगुं सर्वभूतानां तां योपह्वये श्रियम् मनसा काममाकुतिं वाचः सत्यमशीमहि पशूनां रूपमनस्य महिषीशयतां यशः कर्दमेन प्रजा भूता मयि सम्भव कर्दमा श्रियं वासय मे कुले मातरं पद्ममालिनीम् अपासृजन्तु शृङ्गानि चिक्रीतवस मे गृहे निच देवी मातरं श्रियं वासय मे कुले आर्द्रां पुष्करिणीं पुष्टिं सुवर्णां हेममालिनीं सूर्यां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावहा आर्द्रां यक्करिणीं यष्टिं पिङ्गलां पद्ममालिनीं चन्द्रां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावहा तां महावः जातवेदो लक्ष्मीमनपगामिनीं यस्यां हिरण्यं प्रभूतं गावो दास्योश्वाहान् विन्देयं पुरुषानहम् यस्य चिप्रयतो भूत्वा जुहुयादजमन्वहम् सूक्तं पञ्चदशं च श्रीकामः सततं जपेत् पद्मप्रिये पद्मिनि पद्महस्ते पद्मालये पद्मदलाय तक्षि विश्वप्रिये विष्णुमनोनुकूले त्वत्पादपद्मं मयि सन्निधस्व महादेव्यै च विद्महे विष्णुपत्न्यै च धीमहि तन्नो लक्ष्मी प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। भूमिर्भुम्नाद्यो हरिणन्तरिक्षं महित्वा उपस्थिते देव्यदिते गृह्णादमन्नाद्यायाददे अयं गोपृश्निरक्रमी दशनं मातरं पुनः Pitarancha prayan suvaha Trigum shadama virajati vakpatangaya shishraye Pratyasya bahadhyuvihi Asya pranarapanadyantascharati rochana Vyakyan mahishashruvaha Yadvaha krodha parovapamanyunayadavartya Sukalpamagne tattava punastodipayamasi Yatte manyuparopasya prithivī manudadvase Aditya vishve taddeva vasavascha samabharam Mano jyotirjushatam majjam vichinam yajñagum samimam dadatu Priyaspatisstanutam imam no vishve deva iyamadayantam Medini devi vasundara syad vasuda devi vasavihi Brahma varchasa pitrinagum shodram chakshurmanaha Devi hiranyagarbhini devi prasuvari Sarane satyayane sida Samudravati savitri hano devi mayangi Mahodarani mahovyatishta Shringe shringe yagne yagne vivishani Indrapanni vyapini surasaridiha Vayumati shalashayani shriyam daraja satyando parimedini Shlo pariratam parigaya Vishnupanni mahi devi madhavim madhava priyam Lakshmihim priyasakim devi namamyachyuta vallavam Dhanurdaraya vidmahe sarvasiddhesha dhimahi Tanno tara prachodayat Om Shanti 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 Nilam Devi Gum Sharanamaham Prapadye Purinahi Gritavati Savitaradhipadye Payasvati Rantirashano Astu Dhruva Disham Vishnu Panyagora Seshana Sahasoya Manotaha Priyaspatir Matarishvota Vayu Sanduvana Vata Abhino Vrinantu Vishtambo Divo Daruna Pridivya Asyeshana Jagato Vishnu Padni Mahadevi Cha Vinmahe Vishnu Padni Cha Dhimahi Tanno Nana Prachodayate Om Shanti 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 Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om
Om Ajnanaatimirandasya jnananjana shalakaya Chakshurunmelitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Gurudev, good morning. So the story that I chose from the Srimad Bhagavatam that I chose for today is from Canto 5, and it is basically the first chapter. So in the first chapter, it describes Sudeva Goswami describes the story of King Priyavrata. King Priyavrata was, just to give some context, was the son of Manu. And so after Manu has ruled the world for thousands of years, he eventually decided that it is probably time to retire. I guess after thousands of years, it's probably okay to think about retirement. So, as is the custom, you pass on the kingdom to your sons, and so, or generally the oldest son. So King Priyavrata was the oldest son of Manu. The problem was that Priyavrata had no interest in materialistic life because he had received previously the instructions of Narad Muni. So Narad Muni has been speaking to him, and from the discussions with Narad Muni, King Priyavrata concluded that the best way of living life is sannyas, is to renounce life and not to go into married life, into leading a kingdom, etc., because it just brings bondage, attachment, and everything that comes with it. And so as his father instructed him or asked him to take on this responsibility of being the king, of leading the kingdom, of bringing an heir to the kingdom, etc., he was in a despair, or he wasn't sure what to do, because of course as a son it is also your duty to follow the instructions of your father, right? And so it was actually various demigods, but led by Brahma, who came and convinced Priyavrata to take on this responsibility or this duty. And so this is actually one of the verses that Brahma speaks to King Priyavrata, or Prince Priyavrata at the time. I'll finish the story about him afterwards, so because of the verse fits here best, I guess, in the story, no? So Brahma says, and so this verse 18, Yasat sapat nan vijik chamano grisho nirvesha yate tu purvam adyate durga shrita urjitarin kshineshu kamam vicharet vipaschita. One who is situated in household life and who systematically conquers his mind and 5 sense organs is like a king in his fortress who conquers his powerful enemies. After one has trained in household life and his lusty desires have decreased, he can move anywhere without danger. I'll take two more verses just to give more context. Lord Brahma continued, "My dear Priyavrata, seek shelter inside the opening in the lotus of the feet of the Lord, whose navel is also like a lotus. Thus conquer the 6 sense organs, the mind and knowledge acquiring senses. Accept material enjoyment because the Lord extraordinarily has ordered you to do this. You will thus always be liberated from material association and be able to carry out the Lord's orders in your constitutional position." Following the orders of the Supreme Lord, Maharaj Priyavrata fully engaged in worldly affairs, yet he always thought of the lotus feet of the Lord, which are the cause of liberation from the material attachment. Although Priyavrata Maharaj was completely freed from all the material contaminations, he ruled the material world just to honor the orders of his superiors. So this story, as the story continues, obviously he accepts the requests of his father and Brahma and whoever else came to convince him. He takes on the kingdom, he takes on household life. He ends up marrying the wife of Vishwakarma by the name of Priyashmati, and he receives 10 sons born from her and 1 daughter. Later on, as the story continues, he rules the world for thousands of years with his wife and the sons, and eventually plans on giving on the kingdom to his sons also. So Sukadev Goswami, telling this story to King Parikshit asks 2 essential questions, and these are, how is it that the first is basically, how is it that a devotee, somebody who is already free from material attachments, can go in the world and become attached again? And the second question is, how is it that one who is in the world can be free from attachments? Because him as a king himself has tried his whole life. And it's honestly, it's a question that I get a lot actually from, I want to say grihastas, whatever, but devotees. And honestly, it's not different to brahmacharis either, I suppose, even if you pretend to be very holy sometimes. But how is it to be in the world, to have job, to have children, to have whatever social requirements that one has to fulfill, and yet still does not become attached to it. It's very difficult, no? And so this is the teachings that Brahma gives to King Priyavata. He says, don't worry, because the thing is, you cannot say no to your superiors. You cannot say no to your father. It's your duty. As we are in this world, as we have acquired the 5 senses and the body, we have to act anyways. As Krishna repeatedly says throughout the Gita also, we cannot avoid action. We have to act. And so you have to do your duty. You have to do your action. But depending on how you do your action, depending on how you engage in this world, defines on whether you become attached to it or not. Just simply having a body and senses doesn't mean you automatically are attached to the world or you become attached to it. Of course, we know that is not, we understand the reality of it, we also understand it's not that easy to not become attached to the things that we look at, right? But technically, that is what the teaching is. And so what Brahma instructs King Priyavata is, yes, engage in material world, engage in materialistic life, but always think of the inner lotus of the Supreme Lord's feet. Always keep your mind fixed on His feet. Whatever you do, always keep your mind there, fixed. And then automatically, you will not create attachments. Again, nothing new. I think it's something that we are very much aware of, and we yet don't manage to do it. Hopefully we are trying, but it's still a way to go, right? But that is the first thing. And he says basically, how is it that actually it answers both questions. How is it a devotee can fall from his position of fully being fixed on God? And the second question of how is it that one can be in materialistic life and still not become attached to it is the same answer. Is if you manage to have your mind fully engaged in the Lord at all time, no matter what you do, of course you will be safe. Of course you will not create attachment, naturally. The problem is that is so difficult to do. You know, speaking with somebody yesterday about the same topic, and he said, but even if I try my best, even if I put it as a very clear priority with my wife, that God is my priority. So if I go to my Kriya, I don't care about you. And the other one says the same thing. If I do my sadhana, if it's something about Guruji, you're always my priority. But the thing is, I see my wife every single day. So how can I not become attached? Because everything that you see repeatedly makes you attached to it. Right? It's the same with God also. That's why we keep looking at the deities. That's why we keep doing japam. Because the repetition of it makes you attached to that which you repeat. So how can I keep looking at whatever it may be, whether it's wife, children, materialistic things, and not become attached to it? Even if I look at them thinking of God, I still don't have that attraction to God, because somehow that which I see is still at this point more attracting than somehow superficially thinking of God. No? Which is the key point that I spoke about a couple of weeks ago already, is the importance of attraction. The reason why we create attachments is attraction. It's not necessarily that which we look at, it's the way that we look at it and the resulting effect that it has on our mind. And as I said before, the key point, firstly, is to realize and accept that God is not an attractive proposition to our mind. And it's not the point to pretend that it is that way either. And so understanding that our mind does not want to be attracted to God is a very good first step to try. Because we also know that attraction doesn't come from nothing. And so we understand that that is what is the purpose of japam. And that's why it's not useless, even if you do japam and are still attracted to material things. It just simply needs time. And I think that is the most difficult thing to accept in life, but specifically with spiritual journey, is that things take time. That's why perseverance is such an important thing, because it's so hard for us to accept that things take time, and especially if you're trying to attain the supreme, I suppose it takes supreme patience, which I don't even have normal patience. So to develop supreme patience probably takes supreme patience, I guess, right? The second point that he makes, that Brahma makes, is that this duty that is asked of you, clearly you don't want it, right? You don't want it because you see the dangers of it, but clearly it is given to you by him. Similarly, in our life, so many duties, whether it's job or whatever else it may be, you may or may not want it or like it, but it has been given by him. So the truth that it is given by him is inevitably is that his grace is with you also, and he has given you everything that is necessary to succeed in that which he has given to you. Otherwise, why would he give it to you? If he would give you something that he knows you could not handle, that means he has bad intentions for you, which I suppose we all believe God doesn't or wouldn't be able to do. Otherwise, I think we wouldn't call him God. No? And so that simple understanding that even our body has been given by him to us for a certain purpose, for a certain reason. And that is not to attach ourselves more. That is not to fail in attaining him. Every single time we get a body, we get another birth, we get another, you could say, stretch of time to attain him. And sure, every single time we have failed so far. And yet he still keeps giving us bodies, even if we have failed so many times. Why? Because he thinks, oh, he's going to fail anyway, so I'm just keep letting him fail. No, he keeps giving us new bodies and new stretches of time to learn it this time. Or maybe I think God is an eternal optimist, probably. Or I guess he has to be. Otherwise, he would probably stop with this whole game a long time ago. He gives giving us opportunities, life after life, time after time, day after day, to get it, to understand what is the duty of us having this body to begin with. What is the duty of us keep coming back here? And sure, we need a lot of time, and he needs a lot of patience to do it. There's another nice description in this chapter where it says that everyone is compelled to accept a certain type of body offered by the Supreme Lord himself, and thus being allotted different grades of happiness and distress. Therefore, even if one artificially leaves home and goes to the forest, he again becomes attached to materialistic life, if that is not what he is meant to do. Family life is compared to a fortress for practicing sense control. When the senses are controlled, one may live either at home or in the forest. There is no difference. So like Brahma said in this verse, it is not about the outside, actually, that you live. It is about where is your mind and what is your mind attached to. It is about striving to control the senses that direct our life, to control them so that no matter what may come in front of them, the only attraction that we feel is towards God. Because then, as Krishna says in the Gita, being situated in oneself, one will not deviate from that joy, that happiness, that intense bliss that one feels within, naturally. Because naturally, once you have tasted that bliss within, nothing that you can possibly experience materially, even though you engage in your duties, makes you feel fulfilled. That is a natural experience or evolution of experience that we have, no? Just to showcase as a ending to the story of King Priyavata, after having ruled the world for thousands of years. So he was a very powerful king. He ruled the world, as we could imagine, in a very dharmic way, in a very good way. He was a very good example for kingship, for looking after his citizens, for being a husband and everything. And so, as you said, we got 10 sons. 3 of his sons chose to become sannyasis. And so as he gotten up to many things in his time, and there was one time where he was very annoyed of the sun, because he saw that as the sun rotates, there's a period of time where there is sunlight on one side of the hill, and there is no sunlight on the other side of the hill. And I guess depending on which side of the hill it is, you may not really get any sunlight at all times. Right? Because we know the sun rises in the east and goes down in the west. So how much sunlight does the north get? Not much. And so what he did with his very brilliant chariot, he drove around the sun. And so as he drove around the sun, he reflected the sunlight to the parts of the world which does not get sun. And so as he did this, it created a bit of a situation. And so it divided the oceans into 7 parts and the land into 7 lands or islands, we could say. And so as he eventually chose to retire, 3 of his sons became sannyas, and so he had 7 sons left, and so he gave each of those 7 sons one of the remaining, you'd say, islands or parts of land to rule. So I might actually do one of the other son next week. So just to highlight, after giving or distributing his kingdom to his sons, and throughout his life, he repeatedly had these moments of criticizing himself, of becoming aware of, oh my God, I'm becoming attached, or I feel a notion of attachment to the world. And so after distributing his heritage, he said, thus the king began criticizing himself. Alas, how condemned I have become because of my sense gratification. I have now fallen into material enjoyment, which is exactly like a covered well. I have had enough. I am not going to enjoy anymore. Just see how I have become like a dancing monkey in the hands of my wife. Because of this, I am condemned and I will renounce. I think there's a song called Dance Monkey or something. Right? Anyway. And so after speaking this verse, he chooses to leave everything and he goes into the forest and retires. And again, simply only focus on that which Brahma has told him to focus on, renouncing everything like this. And so we can see that his original fear, because he was already, I don't know, eternally, but he was to an extent very free from material attachments, which was the reason why he was afraid to take on the duty. But by Narada's, by Brahma's instructions, he accepted the duty as given by the duty of the Supreme Lord, making his best to always fix his mind on him. And when the time came, he was able to simply renounce, because his mind was always attached on God. So actually it was not, you could not actually say it was renouncing anything, because he didn't attach to it in the first place. Right? Renouncing something means that you have to become attached to it firstly. Right? And so it's a great example of what it looks like if one is actually capable of putting the instructions that the scriptures that Guruji have given us, because clearly it is possible. And I take maybe two points here mainly, and that is what is the purity or the intention that we have when we serve. Because everything that he did, technically you could see is a service. He didn't want it, but it was given to us. And so many times, take us as an example, even if we are given seva or certain seva to do, you may like it, you may not like it. You still have to do it. Right? Maybe you don't like it in the beginning and you learn to like it. Maybe you like it in the beginning and eventually you don't like it anymore. Both things happen. I've experienced both. Many times. We still have to do it. And so it's about not which seva you do it, it's how we do it, with what intention, with what mindset. Like he said, never forget that whatever you have and have been given is by a gift that was given to you by him. And the way that you don't attach to it, whatever may be attaching in that service, is by keeping your focus on him. Which is what I can see so often, is that with any problem, with any drama, whether it is personally or in a sangha, whatever, it is for that reason and for that reason only, is because we forget about God. We start thinking more about ourselves. What can I gain? What can I do? What can I get out of the situation? I am the one who knows better or who is right. It's because we forget about him, which is not what we should be doing. So to finish, I wanted to share one example. I don't know, probably shared it before, but like many years ago, after I used to be able to eat with Guruji and have lunch and dinners, whatever, and eventually this faded out. I didn't clearly make a mistake. I wasn't clearly told, you cannot come. I wasn't called. It wasn't like a clear structure like nowadays in the Telegram group or whatever. It was just either you're called or not, right? And so at some point I realized, okay, I'm not allowed to be there anymore, I suppose. And so I always thought I made a mistake. And what I have to do is I have to gain Guruji's graces back, whatever that means. That's how we think of. Later I realized I thought of Guruji as a boss. That, in a sense, you have to do certain good things to get into somebody's good graces, and then he will reward you with something, right? So in a sense, it was my thinking. And so I just drowned myself in seva. It's like if I can't be with him, he's clearly not happy with me. And so I need to do more seva. And so the more seva I do, when he's happy with me, eventually he will allow me to come again. That was my idea of what it means to be close to him. And so years passed and nothing happened. And eventually I realized I can do whatever I want. If he doesn't want me there, I will never be there. Does it mean I should be upset about it? I was. But no. Does it mean that I should accept the certain seva that he has given me with gratitude and do it in the best way possible, not trying to pretend to, or hold on to ideas that I have of what it means to be close to him, or trying to have a certain position or have certain something that I see somebody else has, but that is not for me. And that is exactly what is showcased with this story here also. you might have certain ideas about your life and about what you want. Like Priyavata had clear idea of, I want X, Y, and Z for my life. I don't want material life. I want to renounce my life. But God's plan was different. And so he accepted it. Similarly, we also have to accept whatever is given to us as our duty, as our position and our relationship with God. And we have to learn not to only accept it, but to love it as given by him. And then automatically, we will find joy and happiness in that. It is not trying to look for somebody else's. No? And that is, of course, it's very difficult, but it is also extremely liberating. Because once you manage, and I won't say that's a one-time thing and it's always there, but once you manage once, twice, to accept fully and happily do what you are given, I think we all know that the happiness that comes from that, the contentment that comes from that, is all you need to keep going. Because, of course, it's a repeated practice, no? It's a repeated remembrance, right? Jai Gurudev.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladala dadaine. Praladala dadaine. Praladala dadaine. Praladala dadaine. Hiranyakashipur vakshaha. Hiranyakashipur vakshaha. Hiranyakashipur vakshaha. Hiranyakashipur vakshaha. Shilatankanakalaye. 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 Ito narasimo parato narasimo. Ito narasimo parato narasimo. Ito narasimo parato narasimo. Ito narasimo parato narasimo. Yato yato yamitato narasimo. Yato yato yamitato narasimo. Oh yato yato yamitato narasimo. Yato yato yamitato narasimo. Pai narasimo ridaye narasimo. Pai narasimo ridaye narasimo. Pai narasimo ridaye narasimo. Pai narasimo ridaye narasimo. Narasimha madim sharanam prapadye. Narasimha madim sharanam prapadye. Narasimha madim sharanam prapadye. Narasimha madim sharanam prapadye. Tavakara kamala varir Nagamaduta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam Tavakara kamala varir Nagamaduta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Narasingha Hare Jaya Narasingha Dev Jaya Narasingha Dev Narasingha Dev Jaya Narasingha Dev Jaya Narasingha Dev Jaya Narasingha Dev Narasingha Dev Jaya Narasingha Dev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Om Bhakta Swarupa Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Bhakta Swarupa Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Vishwananda Gurudev 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 Sri Vishwananda Gurudev 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 Sri Vishwananda Gurudev Oh Gurudev 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 Sri Vishwananda Gurudev Vishwananda Gurudev 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 Sri Vishwananda Gurudev 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 Sri Vishwananda Gurudev Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatindraya Karunakaraya Mangala Mangala Me Yatindraya Karunakaraya Mangala Mangala Me Prapati Dharmikarataya Mangala Mangala Me Prapati Dharmikarataya Mangala Mangala Me Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Saligrama Pratisthitaya Mangala Mangala Me Saligrama Pratisthitaya Mangala Mangala Me Tridandadharine Godagrajaya Mangala Mangala Me Tridandadharine Godagrajaya Mangala Mangala Me Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Range Sake Karyarathaya Mangala Mangala Me Range Sake Karyarathaya Mangala Mangala Me Mananathaya Dharine Dharaya Mangala Mangala Me Mananathaya Dharine Dharaya Mangala Mangala Me Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Mangala Mangala Me Om Jaya Lakshmi Mata Maya Jaya Lakshmi Mata Tumako Nishadina Sevata Tumako Nishadina Sevata Hara Vishnu Vidata Om Jaya Lakshmi Mata Umara Ma Brahmani Tumhari Jagamata Maya Tumhari Jagamata Surya Chandra Madhyamata Surya Chandra Madhyamata Anada Nishigata
Om Jaya Lakshmi Mata Durga Rupani Anjani Sukha Sampati Data Meya Sukha Sampati Data जो कोई तुमको जावता जो कोई तुमको जावता रिद्धि सिद्धि धन पाता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता तुम पादाल निवासिनी तुम्हारी शुभदाता मेय तुम्हारी शुभदाता कर्म प्रभाव प्रकाशिनी कर्म प्रभाव प्रकाशिनी भवानी निकीत्राता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता जिस घर में तुम्हारा सब सगुण आता मेय सब सगुण आता सब संभव हो जाता सब संभव हो जाता मन नहीं घबराता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता तुम बिना न होते वस्त्र न कोई पाता मेय वस्त्र न कोई पाता काना काना कवे बाबा काना काना कवे बाबा सब तुम से आता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता शुभ गुण मंदिर सुंदर क्षीरो दधि जाता जय क्षीरो दधि गाता रत्न चतुर्दश तुम बिना रत्न चतुर्दश तुम बिना कोई नहीं पाता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता महालक्ष्मी जी की आरती जो कोई जन गाता मेय जो कोई जन गाता पूरा आनंद समाता पूरा आनंद समाता पापा उतर जाता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता मेय जय लक्ष्मी माता तुमको निशदिन सेवता तुमको निशदिन सेवता हर विष्णु विधाता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता मेय जय लक्ष्मी माता तुमको निशदिन सेवता तुमको निशदिन सेवता हर विष्णु विधाता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता जय जय लक्ष्मी माता तुमको निशदिन सेवता तुमको निशदिन सेवता हर विष्णु विधाता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव गोविन्द आसतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ओम शांति 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 लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु ओम शांति 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 श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम प्रेम से बोलो श्री लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की श्री बुद्धेश्वरनाथ नरसिंह भगवान की श्री राधा कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की महावतार प्रिया बाबू जी की श्री रामानुजाचार्य की प्रेम से बोलो सद्गुरुदेव श्री स्वामी विश्वनाथ महाप्रभु की कृष्णाय गोविंदाय गोपीजनवल्लभाय पराय परमपुरुषाय पारकर्म मंत्रयंत तंत्र औषधास्त्राणि सम्राट सम्राट मृत्योर्मोचाय मोचाय ओम नमो भगवते मासुदक्षणाय दीप्ते ज्वालाप्रदाय सर्वरीक्षमना पत परस्मै परब्रह्मणे परम ज्योतिषे स्वाहा ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे। स्वामी गतरमना गोविंदा, गोपिका जीवन स्मरणं गोविंदा, भक्तवत्सला गोविंदा, पुंडलीक वरदे एकनाथ नामदेव, पंढरीनाथ महाराज की, समस्त भक्त मंडली की, आल्वार पेरुमानार तिरुवादिकलाये शरणम।